So Paul out in Yardley. So he's got a pretty good sized property. Long driveway here, main road's up there. You know, we can get whatever down here that we need. I'm between trying to do it with our dump trailer and probably would take multiple trips, or just looking into renting a dumpster and putting it here if we take this project on. So what he's looking to get done, essentially, this used to be a farm. That's no longer a farm, it's just a field. He is retired from farming, it's over. He just wants to take down all the fencing and get rid of it and haul it away. So we're going to price him on a couple different things. He potentially will do some of it himself. So one, starting up here, this will be one line item. He's got like a weed barrier type of fabric all in here that's kind of in the ground. He said it's just tacked down with little pins. And then there's obviously some growth and such going on. He's not like a nitpicky guy. He's just looking to just look out here and just see a field and not look at this anymore. So anyway, item one would be ripping all this fabric out and getting rid of it and trashing it. So, you know, combination of just cutting it with razors and pulling it up and ripping it up. This area, so he still wants to keep some of the fencing. He's looking to basically just shrink this down. So we're actually going to price him as well. So I think he said that pole. So that pole to that pole, and we'll get the details in person, but he wants to stop it there and then close it in and put new fencing all down here. And I'll show you how the fencing is. So basically you're just closing it in by using whatever material you got from taking down, and he said he'll supply whatever materials needed to get the fence up. So we'll price him on closing that in. He may also do that on his own. Another item we'll price him on, there's a hose coming out here through the house. He said it is hand dug about 6 inches deep, and it runs down here and then runs to that pole and runs to that pole. So basically just digging it up and then pulling the hose out, and then digging those posts out if we can. Nothing's concreted. None of these posts are concreted. They're just tamped in with a hammer, he said. So that's digging up the hoses is another thing. The next thing will be over there, that barn, taking those doors off and getting rid of them. So toss them in the dumpster or whatever, trash them. You'll need like a screw gun to take the screws off, and there's like some nails and stuff, so maybe a hammer to kind of bust that stuff off. But just taking the doors off and getting rid of them, that's another item. All right, and then we'll get into the bulk of the work here. So it's an odd job for sure if we do take it on. Definitely a lot of manpower. Like I said, he's pretty cool, so he's like, you can take your truck and ride down here if that makes it easier to load stuff in, to drive it back up to the dumpster or the dump, whatever is fine. So all right, so getting into the fence. So again, he's just taking it down. So the way that the structure is, you have metal, like kind of metal cast iron posts here. Again, these are just smacked in with a hammer. Some of them you'll see are almost even out. There's no concrete. So, and then you have PVC pipe that's here, and it's just zip tied. Then the next thing you have chicken wire here, and it goes down and then it goes on an angle like that, and it's laying on the ground a couple inches deep. So ripping that out and getting rid of it, it's kind of fairly brittle, it's worn out. And then you have like the deer netting, that's just zip tie, a lot of zip ties and stuff. So that's the structure of the fence. So again, you'd be cutting all the zip ties, you'd be pulling these right out, and they're just kind of sitting there on the ground, getting rid of them, and then prying these out some way. Probably want to get some type of a fixture where we're digging it in and getting under them and then like prying it so it pops it out and gets rid of it, the metal. And then just probably pulling these up. He's even okay. You want to try to get them out completely, but there is some spots where the chicken wire is maybe a little bit deeper, he said, and you can even just cut it, just so he just wants to be able to cut here with grass, cut the grass without the chicken wire sticking up. And then when we do rip all that down, you'll pull a lot of the growth on the fence away with it, but if there's any left over, just basically take a brush cutter, string trimmer, and just cut down all the growth that is grown up. Most of it's just like weedy. There is a couple spots where it's a little thicker. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. It's a good amount, as you can see. Definitely an odd project. So like some of these spots, it gets a little thicker. But we're taking this all down anyway, so it shouldn't be too big a deal. Trashing it all. Some of this is a little bit bad, but most of it's just kind of like weedy growth. This is probably the worst spots with these type of weeds. The rest of it's kind of just like weedy grass. Yeah, as you can see, like some of it, like this is borderline. Like I could pull this one out with my hand, pretty much. A lot of it's like kind of coming out. Other weird job, we'll line item it, is if you see over there that metal pole, that's over there. He just wants that pulled out. He said it's like dug down pretty deep, so just trying to dig that out and get rid of it if we can. And here's what it's looking like. Don't really need to walk the whole thing, but yeah. So that's the project. That's it.